How do you do it? How do you write anything, never mind good ideas, for a sequel to a satire? I know what to do. We have British spies, right? So, obviously, we have to take a little trip across the pond and see what our American friends are doing over there. This is a perfect idea. This is amazingly fleshed out. Just think about the amount of time I spent developing that idea right there. That is... nothing can go wrong. That's absolutely perfect. Not lazy at all. I mean, we could have Jeff Bridges playing top dog. Pedro Pascal playing the one who really gets hands-on with the scrapping. And we could have Halle Berry as the one who uses a laptop. Sometimes. Forget about her. And then we can't forget the American counterpart of Eggsy, who will be played by... I know! My name is Jeff! Jeff! Yes! Jeff! My name is Jeff! Get to work, you little writer dude. Yay for screenwriting. Okay, my man. Gotcha. My name is Jeff. Killer. Classic Jeff. Well, it seems I got a movie in my hands. Hi guys, Jordan McFilmMyself here, and just before I get into this review of Kingsman, The Golden Circle, I'd like to tell you about a little something that happened before I went in to Odeon Cinemas to see this movie. This is not a sponsor, by the way. I just wanted to tell you about it because I think it's quite cool. But before I went in, Odeon gave me this really cool gift of a Kingsman pin badge. Apparently they're now associated with some movies. I believe that later in the year they're associated with Blade Runner as well, so I wonder what they'll have for that. But anyway, they gave me this Kingsman pin badge, and I'm excited to put it on. Odeon still may be the priciest cinema chain around, however, they do make up for it with these little toys. Excuse me, this item is not a toy, it's a collector's item. You know what I think of that, Mr. Nerd? Boom, that is a Kingsman, a pin badge, and that is going to look darn sexy on my body. Look at all of these stupid languages, look at this. You know what I think of this? Booyah. Good thing they didn't get those statesman badge though, because those statesmen, they're no good. What look am I actually trying to go for? I just look like a grammar school student from the 60s. Now, to start the review, I'd like to begin with a short memoir to Kingsman, The Secret Service. A lot of us really liked that movie, including myself. It was fresh, it was cool, it was stylish. It had really great action, including that scene where Colin Firth kills all the Christians. It had a really excellent and really well performing cast. Of course including Colin Firth. And not to forget Samuel L. Jackson. He went completely against his type by speaking with a lisp. It had some really great jokes. I found it really funny. But I find that the most important thing that made Kingsman, The Secret Service, so great, and the thing that I keep coming back to, is that it wasn't Spectre. I really loved Kingsman, the Secret Service. So I'm sure you can imagine my disappointment when I walked out of the highly anticipated Kingsman, the Golden Circle, feeling rather like I just watched a bumbling piece of I don't think I've seen a sequel like stray this far from what made the original so good since like Cars 2. So where do I think Kingsman, the Golden Circle, goes wrong? Well, first off, we have the characters. We have the characters from the first one, from Secret Service. They're back at it again. Taron Egerton, I believe, is probably the strongest, kind of most steadfast, balanced character throughout. However, nobody in this movie learns anything. No one has an arc. Eggsy doesn't grow as a character, and he never really gives you that much of a reason to care. And it's not Egerton's performance at all. It's the script. It's the lousy screenwriting. There's just too much going on in this movie to really give Eggsy and Egerton a time to shine. There's too many subplots, and there's just too many cliches and goofy moments happening to really add any weight to his character at all. And that applies to pretty much the whole cast of this movie. We have the other Kingsmen. We have Colin Firth, who is revived using possibly one of the stupidest cop-outs I've ever seen in the movie. They revive his character with a gel that fixes his brain cells, and wow! What a convenience! And his character for half the movie has this stupid trope of having amnesia. He has this weird butterfly fascination, which is so incredibly stupid. It's actually mind-numbing. And then suddenly the plot and the movie is like, oh no, we're falling into the trap of having absolutely nothing going on and having absolutely nothing leading anywhere. This movie is suddenly becoming very, 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 very boring. So, I think the best move for us is just suddenly bring back Colin Firth. Because, you know. Wow! How convenient! This movie is just one stupid conventional cliche after the other, and none of the characters do really anything. We have Mark Strong's character. Yeah, I can't remember the name, but he's Mark Strong. Anyway, he gets a little bit of a payoff at the end, but as well, like, he is just muddled into this working crap machine, and he's never really given that much of time to grow, and there's no build up to his great moment either. But worse than all the Kingsmen, because they're actually, if you believe it or not, on the upper end of this movie. We have the Americans across the pond, the Statesmen, and we're introduced to them for the first time. And you think, hey, this could be a cool concept. They're showing stereotypes and stuff like that. Maybe they'll play around, have some funny humor, stuff like that. But no, they just fall into a trap of showing stereotypes and doing absolutely nothing with them. They do absolutely nothing with the characters at all. You get introduced to the Statesman. Right off the bat, you have my favorite Jeff meme, Channing Tatum. He's right there, and he's like, "Hey guys, I'm an intimidating American. Boom boom, shing shing. We all talk like this and wear crappy clothes and wear little cowboy hats, and we're all just little goofy goofers." But then, yeah, his character is completely wiped out of the movie. I'm sorry, Channing Tatum. I actually kind of like you, but it seems that the writers didn't just completely miss their opportunity to give you a starring role, and rather just have you become muddled into the plot, take some drugs, and miss out on pretty much 80% of the movie. So who else do we have from the American side? We have Jeff Bridges, does absolutely nothing. We have Halle Berry. I don't know why she's in this at all. She's just replacing another character that dies this movie. She's just filling that empty role. The role wasn't even that good in the first place. I don't know why we get maybe a prestigious actress as Halle Berry to play this disgustingly small, irrelevant, just petty role. as she's playing this movie. We also have this other guy, Pablo Pascal. He, out of all the Americans, is given the most humanization, the most characterization. However, even he is given the good old gel treatment halfway through the movie, and it's just like, okay, well, that's just really annoying me now, because that means there's no stakes in this world and there's no jeopardy. So anything that happens to any of these characters, I never really feel threatened by it, and I never feel like there's going to be any consequences to any of their actions. He's also given a little bit of a reveal, perhaps towards the end, if you want to call it that. But the thing is that there's absolutely no build-up or like alluring to this for the entire movie, and it really just comes out of nowhere, and it's like just another thing in this huge mess. And not quite as bad as The Statesman, but not quite as good as The Kingsman. We have the villain of the Golden Circle, who runs the Golden Circle, which is a global organisation, a global drug cartel. We have Julianne Moore, who controls this. Her character is Poppy, and I hate it. I hate her so much. It's such a dumb villain. She's so on the nose, so over the top, not even in a funny way, because really there's nothing to her other than that. She murders people every now and then, and she sometimes cooks them in the burgers, and she has some robot dogs, but really under the skin there's nothing. Her motivation is absolutely pathetic. I cringed. Her motivation is that she doesn't want to run the drug cartel anymore. She wants to go back and stop living on a volcanic island. Haha, very good, you're playing with tropes. She doesn't want to live there anymore. She wants to go back to home and live a safe, secure life, a normal life, so that so she poisons all her drugs with this kind of unstoppable serum that only she has the antidote to, and that's all an attempt to bargain with the US government to legalise drugs so that she can go back to living her normal life. But really, the reason that annoys me so much is that it doesn't make any sense. You think that when you're going to run a drug cartel, you would have to consider the consequences, that you might have to go into an underground living. You know, it's part of the job, it's on the job description. But no, her motivation is that practically she's a stupid bitch. Talking about those robot dogs. There is so much terrible, like kind of almost unrendered CGI in this movie. It reminds me so much of the Matrix sequels and all their balloon bodies. There's this action scene, the very first action scene in the movie, at the very start, and it's a car chase, and the camera's all like swirling about the place, giving you a headache. It's meant to be style, but really it's just style over substance. It's atrocious to look at, and it doesn't really make all that much sense, to be honest, and it's just annoying. But anyway, there's a considerable amount of CGI in this sequence right off the bat. There's absolutely no practicality to it, no physicality to it. People are jumping out of the car, into the car, back into the car, on top of the car, and it's all CGI, and it's really atrocious. It's really bad. Stuff that is more practical, stuff that is more physical and hand-to-hand is actually really good, I think. But all that stuff on a larger scale, all the explosions and the car chases and the ski lifts in the air, like dangling around, spinning and stuff, like carnival rides, it's just not for me. I'm sorry. It's idiotic. And I think in the original movie that was as iconic as the action was the comedy. Everyone came out saying, wow, that was such a relief. Especially when Spectre came out a little bit later and was so drab and dull. This was really just an amazing breath of fresh air with how light of a tone it was. But here, the comedy, it just sucks. There's no script to talk about. Any funny one-liners that happen completely thrash the tone of the scene. Perhaps there are a few sporadically kind of scattered throughout the movie that I maybe chuckled at, but really the comedy here is just, it's just really bad. The running joke of the Golden Circle is that Elton John is in it, and it's not a cameo. It's like a main role because he's in 10 scenes, and it was perhaps a little funny. It had a smile on my face the first few times, especially when he was like swearing at the top of his voice. I was like, okay, well, I've never seen that before. At least that's something new. But they reuse that so many times, and it just gets so boring and so painfully repetitive. But what did I like? What was all that I liked about this movie? Because I've been very negative so far, I'm sure. Let me pull up my very short list. It was visually nice. A lot of the shots actually look very, very well put together. It was really colourful, really kind of very appealing to the eye. A lot of eye candy in there, definitely, for sure. Of course, as I said, there are some nice action, some nice hand-to-hand scenes. The performances are all really grand, actually. I believe that everyone in the cast really gives it their all to be as fun as they could possibly be, and do the best they can with the material that they're given. They generally do make the movie fun enough not to bore me, which is just a small plus, I guess. It is paced okay. It's not paced brilliantly. I see the flaw up there. There's so much more action in the second half than there is in the first. The first half takes its time a little bit more. Then they kind of just shove in and clutter up the second half of action scene after action scene every 20 minutes. But in all fairness, this is not as well written, nor as good as it should be. And you can't just come to me and say, Jordan, well, it's just a little bit of fun, lighten up. You can't be expecting high art and a dramatic thriller from this goofy ass movie. Well, I didn't think that going in, and I was let down because you can't just get by on making your movie, just stupid fun crap after stupid fun crap. It still has to be a movie with stakes, with the formula and the foundation that actually makes a proper movie. You still have to put some sort of dramatic effort into it. You can't just get by on making it one big silly goofball. There are some things in this movie that really, really annoyed me. Some things that were really just atrociously disgusting. There's this scene where Eggsy is made to seduce this girl at Glastonbury, I think it's a festival, and get in her pants, as they say, and he has to insert this thing into your special spot. And I'm like, why are you doing this? And then they show it all, and they go inside, and it's just stop. It's not funny, it's not cool, it's just gross. Did anybody think this through? Who agreed that this should be in the movie? Who looked at this awful CGI rendition of inside a woman's body and said, hey, I think audiences will really love that? It's just, who thought of that? Who thinks of this stuff? Guys, I'm going to give Kingsman: The Golden Circle, a movie I was very, very disappointed in. I'm going to give it a C. That is my most generous negative grade. I'm not going to give it a C+. That's my least generous positive grade. I'm just going to give it a C and leave it there. I don't think it's a good movie by any means. It is touching a bad movie. I think it is just bad. There's a lot of stuff to get really annoyed at here, but I don't think it's as awful as it could have been. There is some redeeming qualities, as I've mentioned, but really I can't see myself ever watching this again or recommending it to anyone else unless they were an extreme fan of the original. A lot of my friends did like this movie. I don't know, maybe if you're an action movie like fan and you're very forgiving of a lot of these things, then you could give it a pass, or possibly really like it. But for me, guys, I just really did not like this movie. I've been Jordan McFilmMyself. Thanks for watching, even been to the end of the video. I applaud you, my friend. Like, subscribe, turn on the wee bell, a ding-a-ling-ding, and I'll see you in the next review.